Real Madrid has won La Liga, and after this weekend, in what could have been an extremely dramatic finish, turned out that Real Madrid is able to take care of business after Barcelona almost lost. Real Madrid almost lost, actually, at one point in this, although Cristiano Ronaldo, a 2-minute goal, and all of a sudden they're off to the races. Benzema scores in the 55th minute. And after a roller coaster of a La Liga season that really hit its most dramatic point after El Clasico Part 2, Madrid was able to hold off a 93-point victory over 90 points to Barcelona, and then Atletico Madrid pretty far back there with 78 points. I bring on Diego once again, who has a lot of heart and courage to come on and discuss his not favorite team, Real Madrid, winning La Liga, so I give you a lot of credit. I mean, I know this is not easy. However, we like your opinion, we like your thoughts. What do you think about this season for Real Madrid? I know that's like a loaded question because it's how do you encompass everything into a 10-minute-ish or so clip. But just take us actually through the final day between Barcelona's 4-2 victory and Real Madrid's 2-0 victory and how it all came together for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, look, what can you say? Like you said, putting an entire season in a couple of words, or just even the last day itself was kind of, to me, the last day summed up the entire season, with Madrid coming quickly on top, quickly on the scoreline with the 1-0 through Cristiano Ronaldo. And to my surprise, Barca losing with 1-0. So that in itself already kind of started to sum up the season for me. Cristiano Ronaldo in top form at the end of the season and showing that, you know, he's just a prolific goal scorer with a fantastic eye for the opportunistic goals. And Barca really coming off, starting with a sluggish start and needing a lot of time to really get its way into the game. Madrid took care of business quickly after it was the 2-0, and with that, all hopes in the Camp Nou at least were, you know, started to settle, and all the culés were really hoping for was at least a Barca win, so that this season would not be an absolute embarrassment, which did happen. So, you know, Madrid is clearly the deserved winner. You have to give credit to Zizou, the way he managed the squad. I mean, that I cannot imagine any other manager doing it in such a way where he was able to keep all of the players, if not fully content, because, you know, if you're James, if you're Isco, if you're Morata as well, you definitely wanted to have played more. However, they came out firing every time they did hit the pitch. So that rotation just that Zizou installed in the squad definitely had a massive and positive impact on the team. Also, and let's not forget about Ronaldo as well. The fact that he managed to convince Ronaldo to rest, to not play games, is something that in the past was just unheard of, that even Ronaldo didn't want to do. And I think in that sense, he has matured. Zizou himself obviously went through similar things at the end of his season as a player, a lot of injuries at the end of his career. So he obviously had a private conversation with Ronaldo and said, look, I know what you're going through. I went through this. Listen to me. Take a couple of games rest. You know, you don't need to play over the 90 minutes. If you want to continue titles, then listen to me. And clearly that's what Ronaldo has done. They're league champions, well-deservedly so, and in the final of the Champions League. So all hats off to those guys.
That amazing thing with, and again, I understand the idea of having a player rest. It's not necessarily something that world football fans are really even accustomed to. And it's one easy way to attack someone's character because it's something that you haven't seen. But Ronaldo's 32 years old, and he doesn't look like a 32-year-old. He doesn't play like a 32-year-old, and he's, you know, been able to still score pretty much with relative ease, as seen in at least this last match in La Liga, where he was able to finish on a first touch in the second minute. But yeah, in terms of keeping him fit, if the question really is, do you want fit Ronaldo for the Champions League final and the last day of La Liga, or do you want to maybe get a big enough lead in La Liga with maybe too much of usage to Ronaldo earlier on? You take the titles every time. 33rd La Liga title for Real Madrid, and it's Zidane's fourth major title as a manager in just 18 months. and he could, even though I'm sorry, Real Madrid fans, pulling for Juve in the Champions League final, could make it 5 major titles in 19 months, depending on what happens in Cardiff. So I wanted to also mention Real Madrid have scored in a record 64 consecutive games in all competitions. There was a point where they had an unbeaten streak this year where it seemed like destiny was not going to allow them to lose certain games. And they were able to make a lot of comebacks in La Liga this year, which, of course, your hat has to go off to them. But I will give you a good piece of news, Diego. As I'm sure you know, Messi did win the Golden Boot. He did have the most goals in La Liga this season. And I guess to shift the conversation very quickly, with Enrique leaving Barcelona, we know what's next for Real Madrid. We know Zidane's going to be there possibly forever. But in terms of Enrique, who's a manager I like his style. I like the way that he handles himself in press conferences. He's going to be leaving Barcelona, as we knew. Who do you want to come in and replace that big hole as a manager to fill?
With a club like Real Madrid, one of their slogans, if you will, is and will always be that the club is bigger than any personality. So, they're almost reluctant to have this mythical figure installed for many, many years because, the club evolves and football, the game evolves. And with that, players and coaches will also go in and out the, revolving door. I hope for my Madrid fans and all the Madridistas out there that Zizou does stay. I think he's done a lot of good for the club, and he in that sense, it's great.
I feel like I'm torturing you. I feel like this is slow torture, having to say such nice things about Real Madrid. Again, like I said, there's a lot of heart coming from this one. I give you a lot of credit for doing this with me. So, but again, let's shift over to the team that you do adore. Who would you like to see step in?
In Barca's case, well, at this moment in time, it does look like Valverde is going to take over Luis Enrique's role. Unzue was heavily backed midway through the season, and so much so that they even stopped recruiting. They stopped talking to Valverde because Valverde was very comfortable in Bilbao. However, the papers are reporting that there were some discrepancies between Unzue and a few other players like Neymar. So right now it looks like it will be Valverde. In terms of my pick, I have my doubts. I really do have my doubts. I was heavily favorite of Sampaoli taking over the role when I saw what he was doing with Sevilla, and also in particular, when I saw the relationship that he already had with the Barca players, there seemed to be some chemistry there, not only with the Argentinians but also with the Brazilians and Iniesta. There was some kind of mutual respect. So that I think is fundamental to have with a manager. So the manager-player relationship is so key. And I don't know what we're going to get with Valverde, but they talk about Valverde as if he is a Barca legend. He's not really. I mean, yes, he did play for the club for a year or two, but I wouldn't call him Barca DNA material in that sense. So he's done good. He's done good football with Bilbao, but is he ready to take over such a massive club like Football Club Barcelona and handle the egos again that exist in that dressing room? I really don't know. So I'm not sure what we're gonna get, and I don't really know who I think would be a top manager other than Pep Guardiola to take over the role, if I'm quite honest.
Wow. Okay. So it's gonna be an interesting summer ahead of you guys, at least in terms of what to expect for next season. Because look, when you're the club of a status of Barcelona or Real Madrid and you're playing in La Liga, the expectation is to win a lot of trophies every single season. And although it's high expectations, we know that we're not that. It's amazing how much the times change in such a short amount of time. I mean, 2 years ago, treble winners, and now looking for a new manager or about to replace their manager and going in with certain uncertainty. It's one of the things that it took a while to adjust to in terms of watching and becoming a fan of the sport, is just how quickly things could shift And within a month, everything could be going great. Next month, it's all downhill. Oh my God! The next month, you're coming back up. You win El Clasico, and then oh my God, it's going back down. Really quick,
in particular, that goes in particular for the Spanish teams and the Spanish press here. They tend to over dramatize everything. That's definitely an astute observation.
Drama. Give me all the drama. That's the best. Diego, thanks for joining us. I just wanted to put this one out there. Lastly, according to Squawka News, as everyone should know by now, I just put out the retweet yesterday. Premier League, Chelsea is your champion. La Liga, Real Madrid your champion. Bundesliga went to Bayern. Serie A, Juventus, and then Ligue 1. Monaco, 18-year-old Mbappe gets to raise his first trophy. It wasn't all Mbappe, but scoring, I think it was 15 goals in his last 16 games is remarkable for anybody who's 18. Maybe we can give an American citizenship and then he can come play for the U.S. men's national team right up top with Pulisic. I'm joking, of course. But that Monaco team is obviously looking promising going into next season too. And it was nice to see PSG get a strong challenge and to fall, because when you look at all the other winners, it's not super surprising. You could kind of pick those names and go, yeah, I would expect a team like Juventus to win their 6th straight Serie A title and a team like Bayern to not be challenged too much from those in the Bundesliga. But nice to see Monaco show up for Ligue 1 in Europe.
Absolutely.
All right. And Celtic won in Scotland, according to the first reply. So, but that's not important, is it? All right, comment below. Diego, thanks for joining me as always, man. It's good to see you, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon.
Nice one, Jason. Likewise, mate.
Take it easy, man.